All right, so we just went down a Forest Service road that we probably didn't have any business going down in a camper, but we found a potential campsite. Unfortunately, it's kind of already occupied, so I'm not sure what we're gonna do. But let me. So, can you see our friend? I wonder if he would like to be our neighbor for the night. I don't know that I want to be his neighbor for the night.
So this was camp for one night, and we are all hitched up and heading up to Sugarloaf.
We found a better site.
We found a better site.
This one's pretty cool though.
It is.
3 moves, less than 12 hours.
Yeah. So now we're gonna go up to 10-7, 10-8
Yeah,
and camp. So we'll check in when we get there. We originally had not planned on moving campsites until midweek, but Sunday we ended up making a journey up to kind of explore. We went to Brooklyn Lake first, and then we ended up coming to Sugarloaf Mountain, and we just happened upon a wonderful campsite. So we stayed in campsite number 13, which arguably is one of the best campsites in this campground. And we ended up staying for 2 weeks. It's one of the few places that we were very happy to just kind of stay put. There's so many great hikes that are just walking distance from the campground that made our time here very peaceful and allowed us to access so many gorgeous, gorgeous places.
This morning we are headed out on the longest hike that we've been on, definitely since I sprained my ankle. So we'll see how this goes. I'm not known for making the smartest decisions in life, and so we are not only going for a long hike, but we are also going to the peak of the tallest mountain around us and making a large loop. It'll probably end up being around 10 miles by the time we're done with the day. The parking lot was super crowded. We have hiked around this lake several times already since we've been here, but this is the start of the hike. And then I'll show you where we're headed. Let me flip this around. So that peak up there with that large snowfield is where we are headed. You can see Kelly and Ella blazing the trail ahead. It's a little muddy, but beautiful, partly cloudy day, fairly warm. So we'll see how this goes. Check in here in a little bit. Peak to our left right there is called Sugarloaf Mountain. It's what our campground is named after. We're not going to the top of it. I actually don't think there's any official trail to the top. But instead we're going to skirt it and go up that ridge right there. So let's see if I can... Oh, I need to put away the camera and grab out my trekking poles. Ella has to stop to sniff every bush that could have possibly had an animal stop there as well. A week ago when we first got here, I think this whole trail was pretty much underwater. So we have been camped at just under 11,000 feet. And we actually came down from camp to start our hike. And that peak is at about 12,000 feet. So it's really not a ton of elevation gain compared to things that we've done in the past. But 2 weeks out of a major ankle sprain is probably going to tax me. So we just got to the trail junction. This is the official start to the trail. We'll eventually come up this trail over here. This is the direction we came from. And that's the direction we're going. So I think we are going to take an alternate. This is the official trail, and I'm pretty comfortable with it. I think Kelly would be okay with it, but I worry about no. Like, I don't really want to go glissading down that today. That seems like a really bad day. So we're going to go hike up some scree over this way. What do you think, Kelly?
I think that's going to be the smartest thing. If it was just you and I, we'd do the snow, but not with Ella.
Yeah.
I would trust her to stay if it gets slick.
Well, let's get going. So this is the summit approach. Going up one last snowfield. It's pretty slushy today, especially this time of day, but not too slippery, all things considered. Much better than the approach that we did not want to take. There's really no exposure, if you were to slide down this. But we are almost 12,000 feet, so definitely a good workout for the lungs. Sorry if you're not taking a video from the very top. It was very crowded, very large boulders, with like 15-foot drop in between them if you misstepped. So we had lunch down in this little saddle on the backside, and we're gonna continue on. We did the summit, about 12,000 feet. We're on the backside of the range, and we have the longest part of our hike ahead of us. But it should be predominantly downhill from here. So we'll see how this goes. That's the part of the mountain that's right above Mirror Lake. So we need to skirt around it and then drop down to the lake. Well, we just rounded Marie Lake and Mirror Lake, and we're headed back along the low route. There's still going to be a little bit of elevation, but we can actually see the side of Medicine Bow that we went up. But still have, I think, like 2 miles until we get to the trail junction that makes the loop, and then we still have to do the lollipop stem, or whatever you want to call it, to get back to where we actually have the truck and parked at the trailhead. So I don't know, maybe 3 miles or so, but we're getting there. see Sugarloaf. Big pile of scree over there. But we got to get up into that saddle, and then there's like that little high valley with what look to be a bunch of moose ponds. And then we'll be basically back home. So we have climbed up from the two big lakes that are very touristy up to this little saddle in between the mountain that we hiked up and Sugarloaf. So now I think that we have to walk on kind of a fairly flattish, I'm hoping, area to pass some ponds and then intersect with our trail. But we're all three pretty tuckered, so we have dinner and propping the feet up and a cold drink all in our future. At least I have that floating around in my head. But I'm hoping that there's a good view at the top of this little crest, and that I can see the rest of our trail. I think that'll be the case. We'll find out together. Oh, not quite as good as I'd hoped. There is a beautiful pond or lake that we have to walk around.
We made it back to camp perfectly fine, but both our cameras ended up dying.
You want this?
Good girl, Heather. Do you got a snowball? Yeah. Where'd it go? Where'd it go, Heather? Where'd it go? Right? Good girl. Oh, you destroyed it.
So it is Saturday, and this is our last full day in this area. We're going to be really sad to leave it, but we're going to go visit some family, and that's going to be fun too. But we're trying to make the best use of our Saturday, and we're doing a new trail that we haven't done before. It is the Tipple Creek Trail. It's I think 4 or 5 mile out and back, but it looks interesting from online, so we are going to give it a try and see what there's to see. I'm going to flip this around and show you where it starts. So that is the Medicine Bow Range that we hiked last weekend.
We were all the way up there.
We were all the way along that ridge. But this is down by the highway near the lakes that we kind of were our midpoint. And you can see there's a little bridge down there crossing Tipple Creek. And our trail is going to follow the drainage kind of out that way. And we'll see what we see. We have gotten down to Tipple Creek. We're getting ready to cross it. I assume there's a bridge. Oh, yep, there's a bridge. That is fortunate. I don't really want to rock hop today. All right. So, what did we do this afternoon?
We went paddleboarding after we went for about a 5-6 mile hike. And then we went swimming.
And how was it?
It was nice, but very cold. Very cold. Drew, did you go swimming once? Twice? How many times?
Once intentionally and once less intentionally.
Yes. So I think now we're gonna hike out because we hiked into this lake and go make dinner.
Yeah, dinner's in order.
I'm hungry. And Ella's currently treating a retreat bag as a feed bag.
Are you supposed to be doing that, Ella? What are we gonna do with you? All right, let's hike out.